Law enforcement professionals are condemning these latest shootings as cowardly acts against innocent people. But there is also work to be done to try to improve the underlying tension between police officers and communities of color. News 8's Kent Pierce spoke to a local expert about that. He is live in our New Haven newsroom this midday with some answers. Hopefully, Kent.
Yeah, and Keith, they are not easy answers, but I spoke to the former Branford Police Chief, who's now an author and top criminal justice professor in New York City. He believes that by the time some of his students are walking a beat, there's going to be a fundamental change in how policing is done. Gunshots on the streets of Ferguson, Missouri, just as a protest outside the police station was winding down. The bullets hit 2 police officers. They will probably live, but it marks another low point in police-community relations, or worse, according to professor and former Branford Police Chief John DiCarlo.
What we witnessed last night in Ferguson was a hostile, cowardly act of assault on innocent police officers.
Before the shooting, police in riot gear were arresting people gathered to celebrate the resignation of Ferguson's police chief.
Coming, tackling people, going back over. They did it about 2 or 3 times. I believe the 3rd or 4th time is when the police officers in the riot gear was back on their side. And that's when you heard the shots ring out.
Ferguson's chief had been criticized for the military-style handling of protesters after the shooting of Michael Brown, but Ferguson was not alone in its police becoming more like an army.
After 9/11, we saw police turn very much toward militarization at the behest very often of the government to become hunters of terrorism.
DiCarlo says the answer is for police to build a better relationship with the community. We saw officers from 5 departments training how to do that on Monday with a specialist who was in Ferguson last year.
If you develop the relationship and you have assets in those communities support you when you have to do a law enforcement action.
How you do it is to re-engineer, re-architect the way police interact with communities. But the way you don't do it, I might add, is by violence.
So the answer may be community policing, something we used to hear a lot more about before 9/11. The violence we've seen in the past year could swing things back in that direction, but it will take time. Live in the New Haven newsroom, I'm Kent Pierce. Keith, back to you.